Good afternoon, Ian. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule and get involved in Business Owner Spotlight. Could I ask you, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us all a bit about what you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Scott. My name's Ian Green, Managing Director here at GRN Search Group. We specialise in supply chain and logistics recruitment across the UK and Ireland.
Excellent. How long have you guys been going for? And like when you say, put it in layman's terms for me, who would be your ideal customer? Who would you most like to speak to?
Well, look, we've been in operation now for 18 months as GRN Search Group, but I've been in the industry for closer to 5 years now.
Cool.
Most of the businesses that we work with are logistics and supply chain businesses across Ireland and the UK who actually really struggle to attract top quality professionals for their business. So that's where we come in to really give them a bit of a strategy and help them identify and attract that ideal candidate.
Awesome. And is it so when you say they're struggling, what does that come down to? Is that just that the people don't know they're looking, or is it just that there isn't the supply of people?
Yeah, look, you've sort of hit the nail on the head there on both counts. In fairness, there is a major skill shortage within the logistics supply chain industries currently. And then obviously when it comes down to a recruitment point of view, the businesses that we work with are very good at what they do, and they
Sure.
wouldn't be in business otherwise. From a recruitment standpoint, it might not necessarily be a strength. And again, where we will partner with the organizations that we do, it's to really strengthen that approach to the talent pool out there.
And when you say partner, is that the way you would see it, like a collaborative approach? You become their recruitment partner then as such, or their recruitment wing of their business?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think it can work any other way effectively. Again, look, I suppose having been involved in the logistics side of the industry myself previously, I've seen where recruitment can be done really, really well, but I've also
Sure.
seen where it can be done not so well. So I think that partnership's very much key.
Cool. And would you say that is your niche, is that your USP, or is there something else within that even that makes you stand out even more from the competition?
The niche, yes, it certainly is a USP in itself. However, I suppose in terms of our approach to the market and how we recommend people, there's three major things that we look for when we're actually speaking to candidates, and that is their skill set. So are they actually able to do the job they're potentially going to be applying for? Their motivations, which includes, the likes of where they want to be from a career perspective, but also just the simple things like commuting distances, whether it's a hybrid opportunity, salary expectations, those sort of things. And then finally, their commitment as well. So that really gives us an insight into the individual behind the CV and not just the words on a page, effectively.
Yeah, the human aspect to it all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So you say you've gone 18 months, obviously, been in the industry a fair bit longer than that. Going 18 months, what's that been like? How's that gone for you?
To be fair, recruitment is known as a roller coaster in general. Throw in the fact that you're running a business in the recruitment industry, that I suppose roller coaster does get the higher highs and the lower lows to an extent.
Yeah.
But like I think, in all fairness, the niche that we found ourselves in has been really receptive to what we're doing, and I think a lot of, well, in fact, I know a lot of our business comes from recommendations, so that really does give a lot of positives to what we're doing.
And what would you say, what's been the biggest learning you've had in the last 18 months to 2 years?
I suppose from a business perspective, is really about managing cash flow.
Okay.
Obviously, cash flow can make or break a business, no matter how good they are. And I think that's where I previously recruited in the industry. I was a very good recruitment consultant. I've now had to become a recruitment consultant and business owner. And the
Yes.
learnings and the teachings that I have had is definitely manage that cash flow to make sure, you're still going to be here in 6, 12, 18 months, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So when you say managing the cash flow, you're not just looking at today, you're looking forecasting the cash flow, what it will look like in 3 months.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and outside of the cash flow, then, is there anything else you've had to learn maybe the hard way?
I think, look, what I always talk about, and it's whenever we're discussing anything with either our candidates or our clients, is just do what you say you're going to do, essentially.
Yes.
There's obviously been a lot of times where working within the industry, you've seen where that maybe isn't the case, and therefore a lot of things can go wrong quite quickly off the back of it. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, in recruitment, you're dealing with people. That is the crux of things, and you want to make sure that you trust your clients and your candidates as much as they trust you. So it's really just about, as I said, doing what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, no, it's fair because at the end of the day, it's somebody's livelihood, somebody's lives you're working
Absolutely.
with, really. And in somebody's business on the other side, they probably need you to come through and get the person to do the job.
That's exactly it.
And what about then? What about yourself personally? You talked about the highest highs and the highest lows, which sounds very familiar in business to me. What have you learned about yourself?
Um, I think to be fair, like resilience is always going to be tested no matter whether you're in recruitment or a business owner or both.
Sure.
But certainly from my point of view, the two things that I have realized in the last 18 months is actually how far my resilience stems and
Yeah.
actually to think on my feet and be a bit more adaptable as well. So I played rugby for a lot of years prior, and these were two values that obviously I'd learned throughout playing the sport. And I have to say they've definitely come in very handy for the best plans never survive contact.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. And it's just like taking that past experience in and bringing it into business.
Yeah,
And
been a real
actually, I think
big help.
sports a great leveler for business as well. There's a lot of parallels in there.
Absolutely, and look, you could quote analogies to the death. To be fair, but I suppose certainly when it comes to sport and business, you're going to have your good days, your bad days, your wins, your losses, and it's about adapting that mindset to moving forward, basically.
And tell me, have you got any favorite quotes or sayings that you've leaned on throughout your business journey?
I have, in fact, there's one that really sticks in my head since I started in recruitment. To be fair, and it's burn the boats and take the island. So you
Okay.
effectively leave yourself with no plan B. You make sure that what you do is going to work. And again, I suppose it comes back to that do what you say you're going to do sort of mentality.
Yeah. So you've no option but to succeed then.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about what about your business then? What do you see the next 5 years looking like, and what do you see as the main challenges moving forward?
Well, look, funny enough, our biggest challenge currently is actually recruiting people for our business. I
Yeah.
suppose the recruitment skill set, particularly in the Tyrone area, if you will, there's not as many as if not many experienced people as if you were to be in Belfast. So to bring people out of the city towards Dungannon, for example, is it's always going to be a challenge in itself, and therefore our other options really to try and bring people in and train them up from scratch, essentially. I suppose where that will lead us in the next 5 years, we would like to be in a position where we do have probably between another 5 and 10 heads in the business, and that will allow us to actually approach international markets then.
Super. And is it that vision then? Is that something you hold on to like to swing your legs out of bed in the morning? Is that what gives you energy and motivation, or what is it that drives you in business?
It certainly does. I mean, it all stems back to the one challenge that we're here to try and solve, and it is that issue of businesses finding the right people for them to grow. I'm a big, strangely, a big lover of problems, but I do believe that every problem has a solution, and it's that sort of problem solving element that I think, right, here's another day, let's get after it and let's see what we can do differently to think outside the box, I suppose.
And is there anybody who's strongly influenced your vision? Is it somebody you've been involved in sport with before, or a coach or a mentor, or anybody like that who's really helped you grasp that vision and move it forward?
Do you know what? I used to work with a colleague of mine in England at the time, and he had set up his own recruitment business about 5 or 6 years ago now.
Sure.
We're still very much in contact very regularly, and he's definitely been able to sort of help and guide me through the process of building the business. And it's been really useful to have somebody there who's been there, done it, and been able to give a bit of advice on certain challenges along the way.
Yeah, awesome. And it's just being open to taking the advice, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So just to finish up, then, I'd like to finish on this question. If you could go back in time and speak to an 18-year-old Ian, what's the one piece of advice you would give him?
Oh, control the controllables. Don't worry about anything else. Literally
Okay.
that. I've learned that quite hard over the years that if you focus on the wrong things and worry about the bits that you can't control, very quickly you'll lose sight of what you need to be doing.
Okay. Sounds like you're definitely speaking from experience there.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much for getting involved. Sounds like super business gone a long way in the last 18 months, and a really really good vision for the future. So wish you well with it, and thanks again for coming on and sharing that with us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me, Scott.